Welcome back. So a number of South African and Botswana-based trucks have reportedly been impounded in Mozambique's capital, Maputo. It follows ongoing protests over disputed elections, which have gripped the country for weeks now. The SA Trucking Association's Tony Modise joins us now for more. Tony, a good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. I think let's start off with your understanding of what exactly is happening with South African trucks in Maputo.
We noticed that the protest has resumed and the border had to be closed for cargo going inside of Mozambique. And we also requested with some of the truckers as well, those that are at the port, to stay there up until there's further communication. Because at this point, some trucks were being stoned. And we are worried that they can start getting burned. Hence, we are glad that the border controls were able to put a stop quickly into cargo vehicles going to Mozambique, just to make sure that they are safe, and then also to make it a point that the drivers as well, they are safe.
Okay, so you talk about trucks getting stoned in Maputo. Any reports of them being impounded?
No, we haven't heard of any that has been impounded as yet.
Okay, but I imagine that the safety certainly of your truckers, a major concern at this time.
Correct. Hence, we had to communicate early as well with them. Unfortunately, those that are already on the road, they had to quickly go find truck stops where they can park the trucks, just up until we get further communication in terms of what is exactly going on, and then also what type of security measures can we have so those trucks that are inside of Mozambique can be able to come out. And those that have to go in for some of the important causes that have to go inside, we can find some sort of security to get them in securely. But then now all of this, they have to be proper security control for those.
Yeah. Are you at any a point concerned around whether or not that is going to be an issue to bring them back into the country, considering that they do need to be on the road to get to the border post? We are very concerned in regards to that, and hence we're just trying to communicate as well with the more side, just so we can get more clarification in terms of how can they help us in this situation that we're seeing again. And any injuries that have been reported?
No, not as yet.
Okay, not as yet. Talk to me about the amount of trucks that you believe may be impacted by the flare-up in these protests once again in Maputo. Have you got a tally? Of course, there is going to be the issue around what the impact of this is going to be on us economically. But talk to me about the data that you have on how many are impacted.
But we don't have the exact numbers. But then, look, it's going to have some severe impact on the distribution network in South Africa and also in Moz. Remember, Moz port plays quite an important role in distribution, especially on goods going into different countries. Look, we are looking at if ever a truck is not able to go to Devonport or Richards Bay, we literally take them to Moz, and Moz has been quite efficient, especially when we have been having challenges with our ports in South Africa, and now it's fixed, but then now we got ourselves used to Moz, its efficiency as well. And Maputo, port has been playing quite an important role in our distribution, and these delays are going to cost a lot of money, and it's going to add pressure into our distribution channels and our distribution networks, which means that some of the contracts as well, because it's happening again, they are at the risky point at this. In this time.
Talk to me about the aid that you need at this time for some of those truck drivers.
Look, what we need at this point, it's more support from the Mozambican side in terms of providing some element of security to assist in getting the trucks outside of Mozambique. I think that's one thing that is important at this point, just so we can make it a point that they are safe.
Yeah, and these are protests that have gone on for weeks now. I mean, what are your worries about what happens in the future, considering that it doesn't seem that they are really starting to calm down?
Well, we are hoping that they were coming down, but then now with these protests resuming, it is creating quite a big concern with our operators at this point. And we don't even know how long is this going to take. Will we have be able to start distribution freely or not? And when will that happen? Most especially that now it's festive season, and a lot of companies were trying to ramp up their distribution. I mean, it is literally creating a lot of delays, which will literally come at a cost.
Yeah, Tony, we really appreciate your time. Tony Modise there is with the SA Trucking Association, speaking to us about the concern that they have around truckers that are in Maputo as those protests flare up once again.